Or you can buy, sorry.
No, you're good.
You can buy one single family house in the mountains in Tennessee and bring in 10 to 13,000 a month. It's from one purchase. You can actually do it right here in Miami too, but welcome back to the fourth quarter podcast. It is your girl Jess, right?
And it's your boy King Troy.
You know what time it is.
You know
Let's do our toast.
Toast, more life.
Can we toast to more life, more blessings, good health,
prosperity,
good energy,
everything.
Good, new, pure relationships.
Yes,
all
sir.
2022.
All 2022 for the rest of our lives.
For the rest of our lives.
For the rest of our lives,
Cheers.
man. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Yes,
I'm doing good. Every day's a good day.
Every day's a good day.
Every day's a good day.
Every day is a good day.
For real, like no cliche.
Like if you would just wake up today, it's a good day. It's a blessing just to be here right
That's
now.
what I'm saying.
Just to breathe.
We started with gratitude today.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Just to
we
breathe,
got up,
talk, looking at you right now.
Right.
Smelling the room. The drip that you got on. It's a blessing to put this drip on.
Stop.
Hey, y'all. For the people I don't know, for the people tuning into the video, y'all see the drip.
Stop.
Hey, just a
come
flip.
on, look at you.
Hey,
look,
man.
you got the pants. I mean, come on. Every different outfit, you got different pants.
Hey, man, listen, man, we keeping it P. With the
you know what they
P's.
say though.
What they say?
If you look good.
Hey, you feel good.
And if you feel good.
You gonna do good?
Okay.
Hey, keep it P.
That's what they say.
Hey,
That's what they say.
Keep
All
it
fourth
P.
quarter.
All fourth quarter.
All fourth
Every day
quarter.
is the fourth quarter. Let's go.
Every day is the fourth quarter. So what we talking about today? Let's get right to it.
Okay.
Let's get right to it.
So this episode we're gonna get a little more serious, more on the business side. You know?
Okay.
You know how that sound?
That sounds good.
That
You know
sound
I'm with it.
You with it?
You know we're about the business. Let's get to it.
So for you guys that don't know, if you didn't tune into the last episode, which you should after this episode,
Go watch that one right now.
Jess here, she's in real estate. She not buy homes, but you represent people who are trying to buy a home and people who are trying to sell homes, of course.
I do buy the home.
You do. She is an investor too. I'm sorry, she is an investor.
But we'll transition into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I get what you're saying.
Y'all get it. So, you know, for me, I'm trying to get into real estate. I'm trying to be an investor. I'm trying to get some properties under my belt. You know, I want that cash flow.
Right.
You know, so I feel like you're the perfect person who's in my life, who's actually in the game, who actually been through the ups, the downs, the in and outs. So I'm definitely want to get inside your brain today on like the do's and the what to avoid, you know, with the real estate game, you know, everything you've been through. Because how many years you been having your license so far?
I'm on year 5 now.
Year 5.
Year 5.
Wow.
Year 5. It's been a journey, man. It's been a journey.
Year 5.
Because when I first got my my real estate license, I was all in. You know, I was all in real estate. I'm a realtor. Had this persona.
Yeah.
I definitely had this persona. Like,
what was the persona?
Just gotta be professional. You know, you have to act a certain way because you help people buy and sell real estate.
Yeah, definitely. That was what, 5 years ago in 2022 now. So what, you started in 2017?
Yeah, end of 2017.
End of 2017. Okay, yeah. So the world was normal still back.
It was normal. 2018. That's like my first year. I joined instantly. I joined like a real estate team.
Okay.
And I didn't learn, like it was good to join a team to be around people that were actively selling real estate, but I wasn't able to learn as hands-on as much as I'd like to, you know.
So when you say not as hands-on, so they were just doing the work, or like you was just like they would tell you what to do and you just go, like what you mean not as hands-on, like?
So in real estate, there's like minor things like hosting open houses or tagging along to go and show houses. Okay. So you do minor things like that, but to really learn real estate, you need to be the one physically doing it. So writing the contracts, talking to the other agents. So if you're submitting an offer for a client,
Okay.
you know, like you have to have these conversations.
For sure. Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's how you truly learn. So I was more around someone who was kind of feeding me a little bit, but also making sure that I was sticking around because I still couldn't do it all.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Okay, so and how long did that last for?
That was a year.
That was a year.
Every year I made a transition.
Okay.
Every year I made a transition. So I started at Berkshire Hathaway. After that year, I went to Keller Williams.
Okay.
So Keller Williams was cool. You know, you got that younger vibe, that big brand. I'm sure you've heard of Keller Williams.
Yeah, I went to open house one day in Orlando, and the lady was with Keller Williams. Yeah.
So they sold me on the classes and the brand, and naturally I like red, so it was just a red brand. So I liked it. I got to meet some cool people.
Okay.
But that's where I really learned that real estate is, yeah. You know. Yeah. I mean, the first company I learned this, but then the second one, I was like, oh, okay, this is just how the game is. You know, there's realtors can act a little
sideways,
stuck up.
A little fishy.
Yeah, a little stuck up. They don't want to share a game.
Smile on your face thing, and behind closed
doors. A little snobby, Not all realtors.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to the good, humble, loving realtors out there, because there's a lot of realtors that just.
So out of the 10, let's say out of 10 realtors, how many would you say are good?
4.
40% that you meet? Okay. It's not horrible.
Not horrible. It's getting better.
Okay. That's not horrible.
The old school generation is
going away, is dying out, basically. Yeah, because we're in a new age now. Like back then, imagine doctors and surgeons have tattoos and stuff now. So I just imagine the real estate game had to be, like you said, perfect and carry yourself, business suit and all that. Now it's just I see people in real estate who are tatted up and wear whatever.
It's a transition, and you have to move with the transition. You can't stay the same when the world and the field is changing too. You know what I mean? So the company that you're with as a realtor really doesn't matter. It matters who you're surrounded by.
Okay.
Similar to life.
Okay.
Similar to life.
For sure.
Of who you're surrounded by, it matters. But with the company, it doesn't play a huge factor. Okay. It's really because you're your own brand. Okay.
So how is it though? So like you said, so it just comes down to the people. So let's say you were a star. You came in, you were a Kobe Bryant, shooting threes, wet. In the real estate game, it's just on the people around you. So of course you have the people damn, how the hell is Jess killing it? So you just gotta make sure you have the right people around you who actually support you and who are actually happy for you, huh?
Right.
So what if you just went in there your first year and killed it? How would they get a cut? How does that work?
So when you first get your real estate license, as a real estate associate in the state of Florida, you have to hang your license, is what they call it. So you hang it under a broker.
Okay.
So with me, I'm with eXp Realty right now. Okay. So we're a cloud-based brokerage. Okay. So there's one broker that runs the whole state of Florida.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But it's a totally different game than these traditional, Keller Williams. There's one broker per office.
Okay.
So they're more of the traditional old school way.
Yeah.
But again, times are changing. I can go right into my little computer and talk to my broker, talk to these avatar, this whole metaverse. We're already in that. You know what I mean? So it's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother conversation.
Wow. Okay.
That's a whole nother conversation. But it's been a journey in real estate. It's definitely been a journey.
So 5 years in, what would you say is the biggest moment that that you remember that you're wow, this is amazing that this happened, versus damn, this happened to me? What's the highlight of your career so far, and what's the low of it so far?
So I'll start off with something. I mean, there's a few different scenarios where I cried. There was just no holding back. I remember one time I was fighting for one of my buyers, and I called the listing agent. We were under contract and everything, and I called the listing agent, and I was like, hey, there was something going on with their escrow deposit. They needed an additional deposit, and I was like, we need to hold off on that. And he was totally unprofessional. he started screaming at me. Well, I don't think you know how this works, or see, I don't even remember what he said. This was like end of my first year, but like screaming, like disrespectful screaming. And I was just like, listen, like, and in Florida, you're a transactional agent. Like, you're not just, you work with the buyer, but at the end of the day, like, we work for the transaction. Yeah, we want it to close, obviously. So when other realtors try to combat the other, like, it makes no sense. So that was wild. That day I questioned, like, if I even wanted to sell real estate.
You were close to quitting?
Yeah, I was definitely close to quitting because I was out with my family, was here from Portugal. I was out. I remember, like, I was in Miami. I was showing them around. I stepped away to get on this phone call. And as he's talking, I'm just like, wow, like, why is he being so rude? Because I'm a newbie, too, Like, this is my first year. I'm
feeling it.
You feel me? I'm like,
damn. Because I already know, Jess, you're a very nice person. Like, soft voice, soft spoken. So, like, and I already know, like, you have to be good. Like, you're the agent. So I know you weren't coming at him anyways. And for him to, he was just going off on you.
He was going off on my buyers, saying that they don't want the house and threatening to do this and this. We ended up closing on the house.
Okay.
So I had to work with this guy until closing day.
And how long was that process?
About 40 days.
So you had to deal with that for, let's say, a month and a half.
Yeah.
Let's just say. And how often are you in contact with him? Like, is it every day, every week? Like,
no, I would say every week.
Okay.
Every week, or maybe every 2 weeks. It depends on what's going on with the deal.
And I'm pretty sure, though, you were not looking forward to any of those phone calls.
No, I never. Oh man, and that's the worst. That's the worst. So I think that was one of my tougher scenarios.
And that's your first year.
That was my first year. I hung up that phone. Tears were like coming down because I still didn't know how to properly handle situations.
No, for sure.
But from that, though, I learned that in real estate, in life, but in real estate, whether you're a realtor or investor, to not ride the roller coaster. Because that was me, because I cared so much about and it's good.
Yeah, for sure.
I care for my buyers, I care for the sellers, but you can't ride the roller coaster. You have to take in the problem, because it is going to be nothing but problems. No, let me rephrase that. There's going to be a lot of good and a lot of success.
Yeah, for sure.
But real estate comes with problems naturally. And with that comes problem solving. So
for sure.
That's something that I took from a lot of those tough experiences, those failures, if you might say, of me not handling it right. I look back at it and I was like, okay, maybe I should have done this. Or I should have reacted this way.
Hey, man, it comes back to that self-awareness and self-growth.
Yeah.
Anybody else would have just hung it up. This is not for me. Why are you treating me like this? I'm done. But for you to stick it out, look yourself in the mirror, and be like, yo, like, okay, what can I have done? Like, that's dope. That's deep. And look where you are now. Imagine if you didn't do that. Just that one decision. We wouldn't be here. We probably wouldn't be here sitting right now.
No.
Like, if that, like, what was your backup plan? Did you ever have a backup plan of real estate?
Nope. I went all in.
It went all in.
I went all in.
So you had to. That's what's up, man, because we know a lot of people who will just be like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. So, like, you're really, that's strong, man. We need some little snaps for that, man. For real.
Man, I'll be transparent. I'm going to keep it a whole buck just because this is fourth quarter.
Keep it a whole buck.
I failed the real estate exam, the state exam, 5 times.
5 times, man.
5 times.
Were you studying? You weren't studying.
I was never a studier.
No,
I went to PSL high school.
You talking bad on the high school.
I mean, I'm just saying I never really had to study, so that school stuff. And, they trick you. It's 2 answers always that you're stuck between. And you fail by 1 point. You fail by 2 points. You fail by 3 points. So, but you know what? As soon as I got that pass, result, I was like, all right, it's go time.
So
it's go time.
On the 5th test, did you study more? Like on the 5th time you took it?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I was getting pretty discouraged at that point. I was just like, I gotta keep. I had no backup plan. I was like, I have to do this.
What was your studying then? You weren't, because I already know you just like, you'll pick it up. Like you were just bullshit.
Yeah.
You just literally what? Like, did you even look at the like material, or you just like went in off the first test?
So
like,
every time you fail, they break down what chapters.
Okay.
You know, of like if this is law, if this is math.
Yeah. Okay.
And they tell you how many questions were in there and how many you got right. So in some chapters it would be 4 questions and I got 0 right or something like that. So I'm like, all right, let me study this chapter.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll go over the highlighted parts at the so. I had to learn how to study.
Yeah. So off top, how much did you spend then on like those? How much was it like for a test?
Ooh, that's a good. I think it was like $36 or something every test.
Okay, so 30 times 5, that's $150. So you spend around like $180. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's not bad. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's not bad at all. Wow,
it's not bad.
Is that the same price today if somebody was to go get their license?
Not sure.
Like
I'm not sure.
$37?
I'm not
That sounds
sure.
really cheap to get your real estate license.
Well, you have to take the course first.
Yeah, okay, the pre-licensing.
Yeah, the pre-licensing, and that costs, and then you take the class test, and then once you pass that, you move on to the state. Then you got to get fingerprints done.
The fingerprinting and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know that process. So
yeah, this is for the state of Florida.
State of Florida. So after you passed the 5th one, like I know you felt excited. You were like, "Yo,
hype!
Finally,
hype!
It's time to run it up."
I felt like a whole weight was released off of my shoulders, and I was like, let's get it.
I love this. Like, okay, so those 5 times, how long, like, what was the span over those 5 tests? Like, how many months did it take you?
Ooh, it's a good question, Troy. I think it was about maybe 2 months.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, because you can schedule it right away.
Yeah.
I didn't want to wait because
like
the stuff was so fresh, the information was fresh. That I needed to stay on it because I know myself and I know if I would have put it down, it would have dragged on a little bit at who I was back then.
For sure. I feel you. And what were you doing?
And I was in Orlando too, so.
That's crazy. I can't believe you were in, that was, you said like 2015, 2016?
2017.
2017.
2017.
And how long were you up there
2016, 2017. I was just there for a year.
A year. Mm-hmm. Were you close to UCF?
I was on the west side.
On the west side, okay.
I was right there by Pine Hills, if anyone knows about Pine Hills.
Is it bad over there?
Yeah, it's a little rough.
You was in the hood?
Mm-hmm. It was a little rough. But I had Bella.
That's why she the way Bella. Hey, if y'all don't know Jess, that is a beautiful beast. A beautiful beast, y'all. Like, Bella's amazing, but...
That's my protector, though.
Yeah, man. She's dope. Okay, so... You got your real estate license. What were you doing before we go deep into real estate? What were you doing before you got your real estate license?
Publix. I was slanging at Publix. I'm kidding. I was working customer service at Publix, and I was there for about 4 years. Almost went through that whole becoming a manager.
Yeah,
going up to corporate at Publix.
Were you happy?
No,
during the whole time, like,
you know what? Let me be real. I had happy days there, just because I would mess with the customers. Like I would make it fun.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to make the best out of your environment.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure.
But that's where I learned customer service. I'll tell you that much.
True. And Publix customer service?
On point. It's like Chick-fil-A.
Like, how was it? Like, did they tell you guys, like, hey, you better be nice. I don't care if you had a bad day. You better be nice to these customers. Yeah. Like, was it like that?
They were like, customer service is top 1. Shout out to all my Publix family, first and foremost.
Publix and Chick-fil-A, they're
they're top
training.
Tier.
I want to know what their training is like. Like, what was the It's not about Publix right now. Like,
yeah, we ain't gonna go in there.
But still, though, like, it's crazy. But I know that definitely helped you with real estate, being patient and
everything.
Yeah,
everything. That's why when you really look back at the jobs that you worked at and what you've been through, and you're like, wow, that plays such a huge role in what I do today.
For sure.
I'm in the hospitality business now. You know what that consists of? Customer service.
Everything's customer service, really.
Yeah, really everything.
Like, just being you, like, you go out in public, you represent yourself, like how you like deal with that person, how you interact. That's customer service. They're gonna remember that moment.
Yep. So with rude people, entitled people, how do you react? How do you show up?
Exactly.
And I learned that firsthand at Publix because the customer is always right. You're never backed up.
I wouldn't be able to. I'd be like, no, you were wrong. Like, no, you're not right here. Yeah. That's crazy. Like, yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that.
So I put in my 2 weeks at Publix.
Yeah, it was go time.
And that's when I passed my the exam, got my license, put in my 2 weeks, moved back here,
And it was go time. So why did you leave Orlando to come back here?
I felt like it was a good. Well, one, I was a little bit homesick, missing the family,
for sure.
and and I felt like it was a good opportunity to scale in the real estate business because I knew so many people here.
True. And yeah, back then too, it was still like it's still growing and it's still very new. Orlando's already, you already know, Orlando's populated, it's busy as hell, but there's still money to be made. But Port St. Lucie and Fort Pierce is still young, still developing.
Port St. Lucie is on the rise right now. There's a lot of people moving here.
Wow. Imagine in 5-10 years.
They're building thousands of homes right now. It's insane.
You gotta get me on some real estate, just like for real, man.
Listen,
I'm trying to get some.
There's big time investors investing in Port St. Lucie right now.
Big time investors. Like millions?
Yeah.
Damn.
Development, everything. It's a good opportunity.
Okay, so we went through the lows. First year, almost quit. Almost had you out. Almost knocked you out. Then almost get back up. What was the highs, man?
The highs. Second year, kind of like a blur. I really couldn't tell you much about the second year. Because you're building. I think I was also a barista. I was a part-time barista.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You want the lattes, you want the steamed milk. I enjoyed that, though.
Okay.
One day, I will have my own little cafe. So I was a barista and selling real estate.
Okay.
Which was good because I met people as well. And then after that, real estate started to pick up. And it was like year 3, go time. Quit everything, full-time real estate.
So that was like, what, 2020?
2020.
Year of COVID.
Best year.
Best year when COVID.
That was my best year. I made the most money ever in my life.
Wow. During COVID. Shout out COVID.
Shout out to COVID. Shout out to people moving here.
Wow.
Shout out to everyone that referred me because there was a lot of referrals.
Yeah.
So one of the best moments was a referral. I'm not going to mention his name. But he referred me to a beautiful family.
Okay.
And he wanted to, he serves in the military and he wanted to purchase a house and he wanted his parents to be able to move in with him while he's gone.
Okay.
So, and I'm like, all right, great. And they're like, boom, I get them approved. They're approved for like $800,000. Okay. That was the biggest.
Yeah, I know you seen that. And you're like, yo, it's up. It's up.
So,
oh, snap.
That was one of the biggest. I forgot what we closed their house at. It wasn't that high. I think it was like 580.
Okay.
580, but still.
Yeah, for sure. That's a lot. That's a.
Or 540. 540. But still, that's a $500,000 house.
Yes.
That's
big money still. That's big.
Yeah, and it's beautiful, right? Ocean access, pool, like half an acre.
And Port St. Lucie.
Port St. Lucie.
Yeah, that's what, 2020? Yeah, man. I know they got a nice house. 540, $500,000.
Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful house. Beautiful house.
Okay.
So that was like a turning point. Because I always knew this, but then that's when it hit me, was there's no cap on real estate. You can meet someone, you can have that next conversation on the phone, and you can make it instant, like the biggest. It's not always about the check, but I mean, like we're talking business, so
facts.
You can make the most money from one transaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's just one. The next call could change your life. The next opportunity. Like, that's why you gotta keep on going, because you never know what that next opportunity is going to bring. Look, if you would have quit that first year when that person was making you cry, you wouldn't have gotten that.
Right.
And that's crazy, right? Just one decision to keep going.
One decision to continue to like be in that uncomfortable. Let me call this random person. You have to get used to doing that.
Get used to the nose.
Get on the phone. Get used to the nose. Just continue to move forward, to take the action, man, because that's what took the huge pivot for me in real estate.
And then you got all that in your third year. You just got in your bag. You was like, I don't care what nobody says. I don't care. I'm just gonna keep pushing. It's a number game. Put myself out there.
I was cold calling more. I picked up listings from cold calling. I was doing different marketing strategies, cold calling. Wow. I mean, I give them all the get. I mean, there's no stingy energy, right?
Yeah.
So I would cold call, and then if I had a good conversation and they didn't mind that I would check in with them every few months, I would then send them a magnet to their house with, with my face on it and a little notepad.
So that's what's up.
So then they kept me. Wow. So then boom, hey, I have, your notepad here on the fridge. We're ready. Because, people take sometimes 3 months, 6 months, a year.
They're eventually going to need you.
Eventually, for
real.
So got some listings off of that. And then last year, 2021, was the year that I chose to focus more on real estate investing.
Okay, and that brings me to this question then, Jess. So, I know you got your license. So, for somebody new, brand new, wants to get into the real estate game, just want to get their hands on some property, just want to be in the space, would you recommend getting your license for somebody new? Or would you recommend just being on the investor side?
I feel like it's a loaded question.
Okay.
I do feel like it's a loaded question because I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't get my license. If I didn't choose to get my real estate license, I wouldn't know how to maneuver in the field. And I wouldn't be confident cold calling to find off-market deals.
That is very true.
Or negotiating with off-market deals.
That is very true. So I did go hand in hand with you.
It did go hand in hand. And people want to invest in real estate, and I'll get investors calling me. But 50% of the time, they don't understand what it takes to find an off-market deal.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
So they don't have the knowledge, and they don't choose to take the action.
Man. Choose to take the action, man. You gotta take the action, y'all. That's real. Okay. So
let me answer your question. Question. If you want to go full time in this and you would like to make some money off of it too, I would get your real estate license. I would go for it, but learn it.
Okay.
Because you're dealing with large transactions. You're dealing with people's decisions. You really have to care about people when you're selling real estate.
No, that's big, for sure.
And, when I first got into it, it was cool making $3,000 checks, $4,000, that I made the $7,000 check, and I was like, wow. But you don't feel good about yourself if you know you didn't put 110% into that deal.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You really have to care about these people. So if you want to make the extra money and learn real estate, I would get your license. If you want to focus just on real estate investing, you don't need your license. You do not need it. You can start off with wholesaling, which is selling contracts.
Hey, that's the game right there.
That's a whole nother play.
That's the game right there.
That's a whole nother play. A lot of people are trying to get into wholesaling right now.
It's still so new. A lot of people don't know about it.
It's picking up there.
It's picking up now.
It's picking up. A lot of people are starting to do it.
That's crazy.
But it's hard. It's hard to
find those deals.
It's competitive to find those deals.
And then you gotta have buyers. You gotta have people buyers. Ready to go. Because the longer you hold that contract, you don't have any buyers. You're like, damn.
Right. But now is a really good time because there's so many buyers. I have probably a handful of investors that I can call right now to give them the deal.
Wow.
But right now it's just finding the deals.
Yeah,
that makes sense for them.
So since you're in the game, do you feel like there's still a lot of houses being sold right now? People are selling, or you think there's more buyers?
People are selling.
People are still trying to sell right now.
People are selling, but we still have a shortage of inventory right now. Okay. And we'll see. I don't think it's gonna, change. But we'll see. You never know with real estate. You never know.
Prices jumped. The way prices are right now, do you think it's going to be, off your opinion, of course we don't know what the future holds.
Right.
But do you think we're ever going to see those prices come down, or you think we're going to stay the same, or will they even increase?
Yeah. So the most common question I get asked is, do you think it's going to crash? Is the market going to crash?
Yeah.
We're in a bubble. It has to come down.
For sure.
Yes, it's going to crash. Obviously, I don't know the future.
Of course, we don't.
But just studying the market, the interest rates are low right now. Prices are high. So it evens out. It's, it's kind of fair game. Yes, the prices are high, but your interest rate is also 2.9, 3.1.
Yeah, for sure. Because before, what was the average interest rate before?
I bought my house at 5.6.
5.6, damn. And they're like half that then. That's
back
crazy.
in the day, yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
So, yeah, so
that's big.
That's a big jump.
Yeah.
So if they start to increase the interest rates again, I would say maybe the prices dip, but I do not anticipate, and obviously this is my personal opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
I do not anticipate it to crash anytime soon.
Anytime soon, what, this year? Like, so in 2022, we still up.
Yeah, we still up.
We still up in 2022.
Still up 2022, 2023.
Okay,
Damn,
so
that sounds crazy. 2023.
We're in the future, man.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, then, like how you said with interest rates, just like if the interest rates were to get higher again and the prices just come down, this is still kind of the same thing. You're still going to end up paying the same, right? Because would you rather an expensive house and low interest rate or a cheaper house and a higher interest rate?
Right.
Like,
pick your battle.
You know?
Pick your battle.
I don't know, because I know interest adds up.
Interest, it definitely adds up. The higher the rate, but
especially if you're just making the minimum payment, like if you're not paying more every month, like
but just have a game plan. You know what I mean? Like my strategy, I would like to be a buy and hold type investor. Of course, sometimes I'll have a fix and flip or a wholesale if it comes to me, but buy and hold. If you're a buy and hold investor, you have that upper hand. You have that flexibility.
For sure.
You know what I mean? If you're looking to buy a house to flip, obviously, you got to make sense of the numbers when you're purchasing.
Facts. Because if you're buying a holding, you could hopefully it appreciates. And then, in the future, you get rid of it or you could rent it out, get that cash flow.
Rent it out. You can utilize the equity that you have in it.
So there's a lot of options.
You get that cash flow.
Just holding the asset. So, like,
the cash flow.
That cash flow.
And probably the cash flow.
The cash flow is king. That
flow.
cash
definitely king. That is the freedom.
Cash flow. It's nothing better than some cash flow, Jess.
But really, like, in your opinion, so did you learn anything about like real estate ever growing up?
Hell no. Growing up?
Yeah.
Nah.
So when did you first like start to hear about? Was it you researching it or seeing it on the internet? And when you?
So I had a boy, and when I had my merch, I was doing my merch back then. He told me about Grant Cardone. He's the person who told me about Uncle G, and I was like, "Yo, this is crazy."
Shout out to Uncle G.
Yeah, man, and like. From where we are when we went to high school, Port St. Lucie, I heard he has a lot of properties in Port St. Lucie.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, that's dope. Yeah. I'm like, yo, that's dope. So he's introduced me to real estate, and then I read the 10X book by Grant Cardone, and I was like, yo, this is amazing. And that's when I realized about cash flow. Cash flow is king. I was like, oh, you got to have your money working for you, get this asset, money coming in residually. I was like, oh, this is it. So I'll say that was about like 2018. So shout out my boy. My boy really introduced me. Then after that, I just did my research and figured out like, fix and flips, buy and hold them, wholesaling, So I was like, wow, there's so much strategies, So probably that's 2018. I was like 21 when I first heard about like real estate. Back then, growing up, we just think, oh, the goal is to buy a house and live in it and all that. I was like, forget that.
Yeah.
Uncle G said, if it only has one door, you rent it. If it has more than one door, 2, 3 doors, then you buy it and then you rent it out.
100%.
I'm like, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it right there. So.
And of course, I agree to disagree. Like everyone there's so many different kinds of investors.
For sure.
You have your realtors, and you have your investors, and you have your developers, and you have your multifamily investors. Like Grant, he's a apartment guru, which is wealth. I believe that is one of the keys to wealth, is apartment complexes. Of course, that's the.
You get your hands on what's the small, 16 unit?
16, 14. There's a 14 unit over here for sale. I'm trying to get my hands on, but trying to do one thing at a time. We're on these short-term rentals right now, so we're getting the cash flow first, but, and that's something I definitely had to learn, because you want to jump. There's so many different opportunities and roads.
Yeah.
But you got to do one thing at a time.
For sure. Damn, man, there's a 14 unit, Jess.
14 unit.
Off top, how much do you think that goes for?
They're trying to get it for 2.8, I think they're trying to sell it for.
Is it fully occupied right now or no?
Yeah.
It's fully occupied right now.
But below market rent, so there's already like a value add plan that this friend of mine, shout out to Mike. Shout out to Mike. We put a whole plan together to bring the value up and everything.
Okay.
And she just wouldn't budge. Old seller, she just wouldn't budge.
Wow, so she just holding on to the building.
It's still on the market.
So how did she buy that property? Was it inherited? Like
she bought it. Her and her husband own it for like years.
Wow. That's amazing. Imagine owning a building that you want at least $2.8 million for. Mm-hmm. That's just a 14 unit.
14 unit, and they have laundry, the coin laundry, so that's another source of income.
Oh my gosh, there's so much ways to make money.
I would put like a vending machine, down there too.
Oh my gosh, just guys, we're gonna have. Hey, listen, man, there's so much ways to make money.
And then if you turn some units, excuse me, if you turn some units into short-term rentals, if you're in that market, your income is increased, which increases the value of the whole building. But that's a whole nother conversation. But the reason I was asking you when you heard of real estate, is because a lot of people want to get into real estate now. They hear about it, they see it on social media, which is great. I think the people that share real estate on social media is amazing because a lot of people are able to learn about it. But it takes that willingness to want to learn it. Because it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It can be overwhelming, right?
It's a different ball game. When I was first learning it, I was having to read, watch the videos, and then I was like, okay, cool. Now I'm getting it. Like, there's the auction properties. There's the ones that's on foreclosure from the bank and all that. There's just so much ways and different avenues you could get into.
So many ways.
So it just got to choose your strategy, and I feel like master that strategy.
Yeah.
Like, if you try to go all over, like you said, it's kind of difficult because you're going to get lost. Because you got to really master that one strategy before you try and move on to the next because they're all different in their own way.
100%. You have to. Just choose a strategy. Whether you want to fix and flip, you want to wholesale, you want to develop, you want a short-term rental, choose that strategy and master it.
Master it. That's like, not to talk about stocks, guy, but it's like stocks. Like, once you find like your strategy, just go at it. And
exactly.
Just master that,
Exactly.
That's what life is about. Once you find that thing you're really good at, just go hard at it.
Just find it. And it's going to take some fails, and that's the thing. Like, don't give up.
Exactly.
Don't give up.
Those failures aren't what? They're just lessons.
Exactly.
You're just learning. You feel me? Because if you ain't failed, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't have learned.
Right.
And you want to be here.
If you haven't failed at nothing, like you're really not trying that hard.
Exactly. We not perfect. Imagine somebody just hopping on the court, Jess, and shooting and like just wet like 20 times in a row. Like, no. You think Stephen Curry just been Stephen Curry all his life?
Right.
So definitely put yourself out there.
Thousands of shots. Millions.
Bro, he shoots like at least 1,000 shots in practice.
Yeah, billions.
Yeah, he probably threw up a billion basketballs.
Right?
Yeah. From his childhood until now in the league. Yeah.
Probably, definitely. Because
he throws up at least 1,000 in practice.
This man will go into the stands. Have you seen that?
What?
And he'll do it, shoot it, and leave. That's some fourth quarters. That's some fourth quarter shit.
I don't know how he does that shit.
I don't know how he does
I don't know. Stephen Curry, bro, you goated. And this season that you're having, unbelievable. It's unbelievable what he's doing. He just keeps getting better each year. And like for him to be 6'3" and not so athletic compared to the other people in the league and just like change the game. You could do anything you guys want to do, man.
He's the best shooter, man. Best shooter. Best shooter of all time.
Of all time now. And he still has like at least 4 or 5 years left if he wants to play. Like probably even longer. The way he plays, he's not physical.
Yeah, he's good. Best shooter of all time. Hands down.
Hey, man, listen, guys. Back to real estate talk. So let me ask you this, Jess. So since you have your license, does that benefit you at all when you're investing, like, or buying a home? Can you represent yourself and like get money on the back end? Like, if you have your license and like you represent, is that work? Like,
yeah. So as a licensed realtor, you do have to disclose, like, hey, I'm the buyer. I'm also a licensed realtor in the state of Florida, blah, blah, blah. You do have to disclose it, and then you can choose. Do you want that commission? Okay. Or do you want to, negotiate it. Cut the price and then cut your commission. Choose to take no commission and a lower price because they're not paying that commission.
Okay.
So you get to negotiate. But if you want to get paid, get paid. I mean,
get paid. Man.
The seller pays the commission. You know what I mean? So if I'm buying the house,
you're good. Okay. So let me ask you this. All right, Jess. So let's say you have a ton of money. We want that cash flow. What would you recommend for the person out there who wants to be an investor? Do you recommend, from your personal experience, wholesaling, buy and hold, fix and flip, look into freaking condos, duplexes? Like, what would you recommend for somebody who's trying to get into the real estate game, who has money right now?
So I might be a little biased with this, but the numbers don't lie.
The numbers don't lie.
So 100%, I would study different short-term rental markets.
Okay.
And I would invest into single-family homes.
Okay.
Or even 6-unit buildings.
Okay.
Because you can turn that whole entire building into a short-term rental building. So like a hotel, like a motel, but a short-term rental experience. Some people are doing boutique hotels.
Wow. And then,
or you can buy... Sorry.
No, you're good.
You can buy one single family house in the mountains in Tennessee and bring in $10,000 to $13,000 a month from one purchase. You can actually do it right here in Miami too, but so that's why
a single family home.
That's what I would recommend because the cash flow is there.
So like when you say a single family home, you literally mean a single family home.
Single family home. The more people you sleep, the better. 8+. For that type, if you want to get, reach those type of numbers.
Wow. Okay. And then I'm assuming you have to put the 20% down on whatever.
On average, 20% down. But they do have a loan. Okay. Oh, I don't think I told you about this. They have a loan where it's a second home purchase, like a vacation home.
Wow. So
you can purchase a house right now in Texas as your vacation home for only 10% down.
A vacation
and because it's your vacation home, you're allowed to rent it out while you're not there.
Wow. And you only have to put 10%?
10% down.
And the homes in Texas are way cheaper.
Yep.
Wow. So has that been a rule forever? I'm just now hearing about that.
I don't know forever, but I know it's a thing right now, present as today.
Dropping some gems. Jess, that's the first time I ever heard of that.
Yeah.
You're about to fly out to Texas. 10% down. That's it.
Texas, Tennessee. There's a lot of states that are rising right now for short-term rentals. Arizona's doing really good short-term rentals.
Yeah.
Georgia's good. Georgia's good.
I don't like Georgia. I don't like Atlanta.
I know.
I don't like it.
I used to love it, but I'm like,
I don't like it no more.
I got pulled over in like South Georgia, and it was.
It's different.
It was not pleasant at all.
You had a bad experience.
Oh yeah.
Let's not go too deep on that, but I already know. I already get the vibe. Like Georgia's different, man. I don't know. I have yet to go to Atlanta, Georgia, wherever, Marietta, and like just say, oh, this is amazing. Like it's cool to see the different, views and stuff, but the vibe just isn't there with me.
Yeah.
Compared to Florida at least. You know? And then like if we go to like Seattle, have you been to Seattle, Jess?
No, not yet.
Seattle. I wonder how the real estate market is in Seattle. That's all the way on the West Coast though, so.
I would like to go out there.
It's beautiful out there though.
Yeah.
But it gets cold, so it won't be.
Yeah.
Nobody's going there to vacation and stuff. So I feel like the warmer.
Well, now it's the reason why I say short-term rentals is because it's not only vacation anymore, and that's why I believe it's here to stay because nurses are on contracts now more than ever. So there's tons of travel nurses. People are traveling for jobs. People are working remote now more than ever. So just more traveling, and people want to bring their pets and meet up with family, so just the opportunity is there, and I don't think it's going to slow down.
Okay. Definitely gotta get into some short-term rentals, man.
Oh, we're getting on it this year. It's fourth quarter.
It's the fourth quarter.
I'm making you invest into some short-term rentals.
You got to, just listen. You got to before I spend all my money on some dumb shit, man.
No,
I gotta get the property.
No,
I gotta get the property.
I know you're on your stocks and your businesses.
Yeah, man.
But the real estate.
I want like a real asset. I want something really like tangible. I could walk up and pull up to it like, yo. This is really mine.
And you know what a good thing is? What? Tax benefits.
Okay, yeah. See,
tax benefits.
I heard a lot, but since I'm not in the game, I have yet to experience what it's really like with the tax advantages.
Tax benefits. I'm not a tax professional, so I'm not gonna tell you on camera here what some benefits are. But there's definitely a lot of tax benefits for sure. But the goal this year is to
get me a freaking property.
Definitely get you 1 to 2 properties.
I don't want to live in them. Like I just want straight cash flow.
Yeah, and you can go vacate with them whenever you want because they're your properties. So definitely, we gotta get you 1 to 2 properties. I'm looking to get 1 to 2 properties minimum this year.
Minimum, y'all heard it. Minimum.
But 100% looking forward to helping others learn this industry. Specifically the short-term rental industry and how to purchase real estate and how to utilize it, because everyone has their different approach or strategy. Maybe you need to live at that property at first. Maybe you don't. In your case, you don't need to. In other people's cases, like me, how I first started, I did live in the property, so there's different ways to go about it. And I feel like a lot of people just lack the information or the right people in their ear.
For sure.
So that's the main goal this year, is to make sure others can experience this type of cash flow.
Cash flow is king.
Which leads to the freedom.
The freedom. We can wake up and do whatever we want.
Which leads to the freedom.
Let me ask you this, Jess, before we wrap this up. Like, how do you feel about rental arbitrage? Because I've been seeing a lot about that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if that's legal, illegal. I don't know. I just seen people get a lease. They technically supposed to live there, but they don't. And they rent it out again. So it's like a lease, a sublease. They get people to come in. And their rent is like, let's say $1,800. Then they rent it out $200 a day, blah, blah, blah. Like, how does that work? Can we do that? So, like, we don't have to put the big money down? Like, is that a thing? Have you looked into that personally? Like,
of course.
The rental arbitrage?
Rental arbitrage is genius, right? I mean, think about it. Like you're playing with a lease, and you don't have to put down 10%, 20% down. So obviously, it's genius. But the risk of it, you're in an apartment complex. You have a no party policy. Yeah. If someone comes in and throws a party,
for sure,
the apartment complex doesn't like it.
For sure,
they tell you, hey, this isn't working out. You got to go. So you just invested $6,000 to $8,000 maybe, depending on the size.
Yeah, for sure.
Of the apartment, how many bedrooms and what you put into it to get it furnished, first class security to get it furnished.
Dude, depending on your credit though, depends on the person who you go to, right? Like
depends, depends. So you take that risk because ultimately you don't own it; it's not in your control.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, but there's other times where it works out great. If you go through a private owner. One of my boys has a rental arbitrage with a private owner. So that's a little bit less of a risk because the owner knows exactly what you're doing. Yeah. And they're good with it.
And they're straight.
As long as they get their monthly.
Yeah, they're good.
They're good.
Wow.
So but still, you're still not in control. In 10 months, they can say, hey, we're going to sell this property.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, here's your. Facts. So you always have to be on someone else's plan and not your own.
So you can't get used to that lifestyle. You just gotta be smart, stack that money up, and just keep thinking about the next steps.
Right.
That's not gonna be forever for sure.
But it is a really good way to scale. You can scale quickly. Is
that technically legal?
It is.
Okay.
It is. If you go about it the right way.
Interesting.
It is.
That is very interesting.
But I'm a asset, type of girl. I believe that, the more assets you own, the better.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can grow in equity and you have control ultimately.
Facts. No, it's nothing better than owning something.
Right.
There's nothing better. So there's definitely a lot of gems that I've definitely learned, Jess, and I didn't know, like how you almost quit that first year and like you killed it in 2020, 2021. You just went and got it, like just bossed up. Which is amazing, and like we didn't get too deep into like your past, but I already know like coming where you come from, like that's amazing to see. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta give you your flowers while you're here.
I appreciate it.
To be a lady in this world already is hard and difficult, as we know. So to be in a real estate game where it's like everybody for themselves, and we know it could be a cutthroat industry, and you still surviving, and you still thriving. Hey man, cheers to that, man.
Cheers.
Nothing but more life and blessings, bro. For real.
More life.
That's real, man.
That's fourth quarter.
That's the fourth quarter, man. Listen, man, I feel like we'll touch on more information about this later, but I really feel like that was really great, Jess. I really appreciate you sharing that knowledge and information.
Oh, of course.
You know, like in this little talk for real, I've learned like, damn, like I'm excited. I'm like, okay, let's go get this money. You know, we're getting a property this year, y'all. Like, I want something really tangible. I'm like, yo, I want to pull up and that's mine.
Just remember, the majority of wealthy people own real estate.
Facts, for sure.
And that's it. And if that's your goal, to build generational wealth, you better get to learning real estate.
Facts, no,
or
for sure.
Getting some friends that know real estate and knowing where to invest your money.
Facts, man, and that's that.
All right, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap, Jess. Hey, I want to appreciate your energy and time for keeping it P, dropping them gems.
Keeping
on
it
us.
P.
Yeah, keeping it P. Look at you.
Stop.
And this jacket hard, like for real, like.
Thank you.
How you got the suit business then casual? Like,
I actually made this.
You made that? How about this?
No, it's a really cute boutique in Miami.
That's hard. That's hard. That's hard. I love it. The
you.
chain and everything.
I appreciate you.
Hey man, I think she got the drip for me.
Come on.
Hey man, but listen, bro, we're gonna sign off on that note, man. More life, more blessings, y'all. Take care of yourself. Spread love. Y'all know the vibes, man.
Spread love, spread happiness, learn, continue to grow.
It's up. It's up. All 2022, guys, take care of yourself, please, man. Fourth quarter. Live every day like it's your last, man. Don't take nothing for granted, man. You know the vibes. Yes, sir.
Cheers.
Hey.
You ain't got no more left in there.
A little bit. Pushing peas. That's a wrap.